30 days ago, Krypto the Superdog was on top, proving that man's best friend might just be a collector's best bet. 60 days ago, Naruto met the Turtles on the rooftops and on the charts. And 90 days ago, Vampirella wasn't the only one who loved New York. The comics were sinking into everyone's teeth and in the market too. Did these books hold strong or did they take a dive? Let's break it down. It's time for 30, 60, 90 look back, where we check out what was hot then and see if it's still hot now. $30, $60, $90 look back. What a set of books there. It's like it goes from all ages to not so much.
Yeah.
All right. So these are the three books that were number one during their time period. We're going to look at each book and we're going to see how those books trend today. It's going to be very interesting to see this list because every time we come back to it, we notice something about it. We're going to start with the first book in our list, which was 30 days ago. And that was Superman 680. This book came out in 2008 for DC Comics. The reason why this book was in the top 10 list, it was number one during its week in December 24th, was because of the Superman trailer, of course. Superman trailer has caused this book to uptick from the list. And the book was going for $60 near mint. During that week, 35 units were being sold. It was $14 at Very Fine and $125 for 9/8. The highest sale of this book, it's very interesting to note, happened January 5th. So it didn't happen too long ago. A 9.6 sold for $250. As of today, the book goes for about $40. And that was the last recorded sale of this book. And that was January 25th. 95 units were sold within a 30-day period. So that's great. And the book now is selling for $37 raw, near mint, $125 at a 9.8 grade. It's been 30 days since that trailer. Would you believe that?
Yeah, it's interesting because they just released kind of a little bit of an updated trailer, and it's taken a lot of, people have opinions, I guess, online because of a scene of him flying.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to affect this book because people love dogs, people love Superman, and people love comics.
I agree. And what's great about this book is that it's still early. It's not a hard book to get. It's quite affordable, to be honest. Alex Ross cover as well, so that's another plus to the book. How long will this book last in its current state? Apparently, it's still pretty hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we definitely have to take a look at this book. If you find it at a good price, then it's probably worth picking up just to have it, unless you're willing to hold off for a little bit where no one talks about crypto for a while, because it's only been about a month now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's take a look at the book that was trending 60 days ago, and that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Naruto #1. This was from 2024 from IDW. Came out in November 18th, week 3. It was going for $15 near mint. That was the top weekly sales. The units of the book was 41, and that was because it was a new book, and that's kind of what's caused the uptick. Raws were going for $12 near mint, while there were graded books at $60 already being noted. The highest sale of this book was a 9/8 for $70, and that was January 22nd, so that was last week. As of today, $7 for a near mint. 107 books have been sold since that 60-day period, and it goes for about $12 raw. So the price hasn't really changed. The graded book goes for about $5 more. This is a new book. As most new books goes, that sales is still going to go up because it's still new and people are still hunting it down. But just recently, issue number 2 came out, and I do believe that might cause this book to get some more sales in as 2 just come out.
Yeah, this is one of those books that I remember it being on the stands because, again, no one, that's the thing about some of these books that are on this list, like the Mark Spears, whatever, you see them and the rivals. You see them in the store, and I physically hold them in my hand, and I can't buy them all, and so it hurts me to see these on the list when I've held it in my hand. And this is one of the ones that I'm not too interested in the story personally, but I would pick up, a trade or a cheap copy of this for my one of my kids or both of them.
Yeah, it's an anime thing, right?
Yeah,
anime mangas, people love them. There's definitely a group for it, and with the turtles. How can you go wrong with that one? Okay, let's take a look at our book that was 90 days ago, and this one's really interesting. Vampirella 672. This is the Will Jack New York Comic Con exclusive variant. When it came out on week 3 of October, it was $200 near mint. 41 books were sold. The raws were going for $170. The graded copies were going for less, at $1 less, for 9.8 at $169. That's always odd when you see those numbers. The highest sale of this book is at $284, and that was on the 19th. That also happens to be the last recorded sale of the book. From that 90-day period, it was 35 copies that were sold in the secondary market from a list of 500. It was limited to 500, so there really aren't that many out there. The raws are going for slightly above at $182 near mint, while the graded ones are going for $262 at 9.8. Let's talk about Vampirella. Let's specifically talk about this book.
Well, I really like Will Jack's art. I have a Poison Ivy cover that he did that was a retailer exclusive. It's awesome. We've got another Vampirella relaunch coming up, that's going to have a Spears cover. I expect that one to be hot. People love Vampirella, and you know what? When it's limited, like this one is, to 500 copies, this book is likely going to hold that, at least that value.
Yeah, and there's been some other versions of this book as they came out. None of them have that same stance as this one, because this was the New York Comic Con. This was the first one. There's other renditions of the book that just don't have that same pow in your face, I guess you could say. Yeah. That's what the headlights, as we call them, are just, they're there in this one. And this is one of those books that when I try to post this book up with a thumbnail, man, YouTube tell me something. But what I want to say about it is that from Will Jack's books, I think this is one of his best pieces. It is the one that seems the more in your face as far as his style goes, and it's just a gorgeous piece. This is a book that it's been holding steady.
Yeah,
we're talking about 90 days later, and the price of the book has not dropped.
No.
So it's been holding steady. It's one of those books that people are going to be seeking out. I'm more curious what this book's going to look like in 1 year now. We talked about 90 days, and we're not going to do it 1 year later, but I'm curious to see what a year later, especially after New York Comic Con comes out. So
right.
There you have it, guys. Vampirella 672, the Will Jack New York Comic Con exclusive. What a title. What a book. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more comic content. Check out these other videos for even more insight, and I'll see you at the next one. Excelsior.